From the News Channel 5 Storm Team, this is your weather first.
And after a miserably hot day, we're beginning to see a couple of showers and thunderstorms develop here across central Louisiana. First, our high 5 tower cam showing some clouds growing, and that's a good sign if you want some rain. Radar showing showers and thunderstorms dotting the landscape, but the coverage is just not too great. Movement south and southwest. Let's zoom in to some of the heavier cores out toward Esla Airport, headed in toward Colleen and portions of Pineville. Get a shower over in that direction. Marksville looks like you're getting a rain right now. And of course, as we shift southward, thunderstorm there between Whiteville and Palmetto, moving toward Washington. Right now, nothing severe, but we'll continue to watch it. There's a lot of energy out there. Here's your 6 o'clock news.
Tonight on News Channel 5 at 6, a woman went to jail after she was charged with trying to run over another woman with her car. We'll talk to police, see what happened.
Investigators continue to look into the second Alexandria homicide in 4 days. City leaders say something needs to be done to stop the violence.
LSUA begins training for a virtual classroom that's offered only to a handful of colleges across the country. It's the future of education coming up.
And a young son-in-law artist has her work hanging in the governor's mansion. We'll have her story as News Channel 5 at 6 begins right now.
Now, live from Central Louisiana, this is News Channel 5, your local station.
Good evening and thank you for tuning in for the news at 6. I'm Dale Hoffman.
And I'm Joy Howe.
Well, first up tonight, Alexandria police say a woman is dead, another is in the hospital after both were attacked in their homes this afternoon on Birdie Street.
News Channel 5's Brooke Buford is live tonight from Birdie Street. Brooke, they're still trying to piece together what happened down there.
That's right, Dale and Joy, but right now police are calling this a homicide, and you might remember just a few days ago at a couple of streets down the road, another deadly crime. And as police try to figure out what happened here, so are neighbors and city leaders. Dorothy Gordon and her granddaughter had just gotten back home around noon Tuesday when they say their 33-year-old female neighbor came staggering to the house.
We came back from the store, so we had heard some screaming. We came on the house, so I went in the back. Asked the neighbor must have opened the door, and the lady came in and said she feel like she was about to faint, and her boyfriend had hit her in the head with a hammer. So I got a cold towel and put on her, and I called 911.
Alexandria police went to the victim's house and say after they began investigating, they went next door and found another woman dead inside her home.
We have a person of interest in mind. The investigation is continuing. We believe that the two incidents are related, but we're not sure exactly how.
This is the second suspicious death in 3 days, just streets apart.
APD, city leaders, we're trying to do our best to keep our citizens, our city safe. But sometimes things happen and we can't do it. But we want people to stop the senseless violence, the guns, the fighting, the shooting. Stop it. It's not worth it.
Police say they'll continue their investigation as they look for a suspect, and Dorothy Gordon's family looks for answers. And at last update, police tell us they were in the process of interviewing a person of interest. Still no word on if they've made an arrest yet, and also no word on the condition of the woman that was battered. Dale and Joy.
Okay, thank you, Brooke. We'll have more coming up later. Appreciate it.
To Leesville now, where a woman was arrested after police say she tried to run over another woman with her car.
News Channel 5's Nolan Crane's at the live desk with more on what happened over there. And Nolan, you talked with the victim this afternoon, right?
That's right, Dale and Joy. The victim didn't want to go on camera, but she says she was nearly run down by 33-year-old Monique Hoke. Leesville police say they got a call from the victim saying that Hoke was on her property and refused to leave. The victim says she got into an argument, and that's when she says Hoke got into her car and tried to run her over. Leesville police arrested Hoke and charged her with aggravated assault and criminal mischief. We spoke with people in Leesville, and they say there are two sides to every story.
She could have been going through some things in her life. The person that she went to go visit could have been aggravating it on. So you never know the complete circumstances. There's two sides to every story.
Like I said, that's extreme for somebody to try to run you over.
We reached out to speak with Monique Hoke to get her side of the story, but we were unable to get a hold of her. Monique Hoke is out of jail. She posted a $1,500 bond. To see the complete story, you can log on to our website at KALB.com. We'll have the latest details of the situation as they become available. Dale and Joy, back to you.
Okay, more later already. Thank you, Nolan.
Well, educating kids in the classroom made a leap into the 21st century today. The Education Department at LSUA held training today for their new Avatar program. Now, this is a special program that simulates teaching. The students are virtual and they are programmed to react in a certain way depending on the situation the teacher is presented with.
This program could actually blossom into something that teachers who are struggling in the classroom could come in and practice their skills and get more hours in the simulator in order to help them in the real world and in their classroom.
LSUA is only one of a handful of schools in the nation offering this Avatar program.
St. Mary's Residential Training School observed World Environment Day today. The residents have grown their own organic garden, and this weekend the veggies will be on sale at the Alexandria Museum Saturday Market. And along with organic vegetables, the residents will be selling special worms that help with composting and help grow produce. Now, they're not done with their garden. Over the next few months, the organic garden will produce everything from cucumbers and beans, and they're also going to try some sunflowers.
The produce that we're creating in our gardens is very good produce. We have squash, zucchini, cucumbers, tomatoes, corn, eggplant, all sorts of produce, and it's all very good food.
World Environment Day is held each year on June 5th to bring worldwide awareness of the planet and its environment in which we live. A Central Louisiana second grader is honored in a very big way at the governor's mansion. We'll take a look after the break.
And business owners are rallying around the Times-Picayune. They say they want to keep the stopping of the presses. That's coming up next.
You're watching News Channel 5, your local station. Online anytime at KALB.com.
Some heavyweight business leaders are speaking out against changes in store for the Times-Picayune, the state's biggest paper.
Now, after the paper announced it would drop to a 3-day publication, 70 New Orleans civic and business leaders spoke up. Now, the group wants to help the paper find new ad revenue or a new owner. And if that doesn't work, well, there's talk of an advertising and subscription boycott of the Times-Picayune.
New Orleans will be hosting the Super Bowl. We'll be hosting the year after that the NBA All-Star Game. It's our 10-year anniversary since Katrina. It's our 300th year anniversary in the city. We've got to have a daily newspaper.
The Times-Picayune Citizens Group says another reason for keeping the daily in New Orleans and publishing every day is because 40% of folks in that region do not have a personal computer or access to the internet. Well, here's a reminder when you're driving into town tomorrow morning, the Jackson Street Bridge will be closed from tomorrow and Thursday from 9 until about 3 in the afternoon for an inspection. Your best bet is to get across the river is to use the OK Allen Bridge just a short ways upstream. So don't forget, Jackson Street Bridge will be closed from 9 until 3 tomorrow and Thursday.
Well, the session is over, but before it ended, the House passed a controversial bill to help pay for public school minutes. Brooks Fowler has this story.
I'm asking you to think about it. Think about what you're doing, thinking about the door that you're opening.
Despite strong opposition, the House of Representatives has passed by a slim margin of 51 to 49, $3.4 billion in funding. It'll go to teach more than 700,000 public school students across the state. Opponents believe, though, the bill is flawed and, worse yet, unconstitutional.
There's too many unknowns. A school in Ruston who's been approved, who's going to raise tuition, who doesn't have classroom space, doesn't have computers, doesn't have the basic needs. A school in New Orleans that teaches Islamic tradition that we're going to fund with public money. Rumors of Bessie members being able to own charter, and their family members being able to own charter schools and private schools. MFP money going to higher ed.
The almost $3.5 billion in MFP, or minimum foundation program funding, is supposed to only go to public elementary and secondary schools. Those in favor of the bill say the funding is needed to improve education in the state, and all the cries against it are just lawmakers playing politics.
This is very important. We can talk about waiting. There's an awful lot of unanswered questions that people are putting out there, saying that we don't have to come back into special session, slow it down, this and that. That's the same old rhetoric we always hear. Give us more time, give us more money. It's time for us to do what's right for the students and the parents in this state.
But even those who voted against the bill hope it helps to fix a state educational system that currently ranks in the bottom 5 nationally.
I, as well as anybody, hope that I am wrong. And I hope that this is a positive move for the status of education in Louisiana.
I don't spend too much time in an oven, but it certainly was like that outside today.
It feels that way. My Facebook viewer from Grant Parish, Tom, is saying they're getting a lot of thunder over there.
Good. Well, that's one of those thunderstorms. That's what folks wanted, and hopefully we can provide some more this evening.
Now your most accurate Storm Team forecast.
And hottest day of the year so far, I have the numbers to prove it, is 75 and 97 thus far out at International Airport. That's way above the norm on both sides of the thermometer, but shy of the 101 that we had last year. We've got Winfield and Gina in our sights for this evening, and we are still picking up a couple of showers and thunderstorms across central Louisiana. Opening up the radars, teaming up, we have showers and thunderstorms in various places up there toward Grant Parish, up above Natchitoches, and between Whiteville and Washington right now. Our temperatures into the 90s. Looks like we are still 90 degrees over toward Natchez, Faraday, Vidalia. A pair of 9s for Natchitoches at the airport. We'll keep about 30% going through 10 o'clock, so there's plenty of energy for these showers and thunderstorms to feed on, so I think that's going to keep them going for several more hours. And then for your start in the morning, could be a little patchy fog in areas that get good rains this evening. 72 for our low tonight. It will be a muggy night. 71 for Leesville. We will see a little bit of relief up toward Winfield, Gina, Jonesville, and Natchez, where you fall in the upper 60s as the front trying to come in from that direction will make a little difference. And then we're in the mid 70s down south for Opelousas, Eunice, and Ville Platte. Tomorrow should be better than today. Only 91 here locally. We'll fail to reach 90 probably toward Gina, Jonesville, and Natchez with the upper 80s. And then maybe the hotter readings will be down south toward DeRidder, Oakdale, and Opelousas with about 92 or 93. Starting out at 73, it will definitely be a muggy start for you. We keep a little bit of a rain chance all times of the day, but a preference for the afternoon and the evening hours as we get a little bit warmer and the front tries to come into the area, and that should generate at least scattered showers and thunderstorms a bit. Tropical season, day number 5. We're watching stuff in the Gulf of Mexico, but that's associated with a little piece of energy or a jet segment, as we call it. That is not a tropical type situation, so we're not worried about this area of clouds and convection in the Gulf. Satellite imagery shows things getting active back off to the west of us in the southern plains once again. And of course, the front I think is drawn a little bit too far south. I'd mark it more up toward the Arkansas-Louisiana border. But suffice it to say that as it sags southward, we are seeing during the heating of the day here some showers and thunderstorms. Not the coverage that was expected, but the day's not over yet, so you still have a chance of getting an isolated shower or a thunderstorm. Here's how Future Scan plays it out here over the next 24. Once again, as the front does sag through the area late tomorrow night, scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. We'll go 50-50 with that for tomorrow. 91, not as hot. Front comes through. We get a little relief Thursday and Friday mornings, back in the 60s for lows. Rain chances go down. I think most of that 30% Thursday will be in our southern viewers, and then 10% Friday. Don't look for much there, but the moisture will return for the weekend, first part of next week, so rain chances go back up those days. If you miss it this evening or tomorrow, you still have a chance those days to pick up some rain. Weather app is still available, and it is free, and the weather line is 442-1110. That is the number to know in these parts.
The rains are coming.
I hope so.
Me too.
All right.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, things are going to be tough on the LC campus. A sophomore wide receiver drowned in Lake Pontchartrain. Mo will have that story coming up.
Plus, most sports fans know who the Hornets' top pick will be, but who will they choose with their 10th pick? Mo Carter will give us one possibility. He's straight ahead.
Now, the latest update from the world of sports.
Good evening, everyone. Unfortunately, we must begin the sportscast with some bad news about a local student athlete. Isaiah Tate, a sophomore wide receiver for the LC Wildcats, has drowned after falling out of a boat near New Orleans. Early this morning, Tate fell overboard due to the rough waters near the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The crew said that they were able to locate the missing boater in the water twice before he disappeared into the lake before they could make contact. Tate's body was recovered this morning by search crews consisting of the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office, and the U.S. Coast Guard. Tate was not wearing a personal flotation device. We here at News Channel 5 will keep Tate's family and friends in prayer. Now switching to college baseball, following a sweep of their opponents in this week's regional, the LSU Tigers are heading back to another super regional, which will be played right there in Baton Rouge. LSU will take on Stony Brook, the champions of the American East Conference and the winner of this weekend's Miami Regional. The Tigers are back in the super regionals for the first time since 2009, the same year LSU won their last national title. Coach Paul Maneri says the 2009 and 2012 teams are very similar.
The key here is that both teams developed a great chemistry and a will to win and a belief in themselves to win. And we'll see how far this team can take it. You know, I'm not going to put limits on what we can accomplish.
We got very solid ball clubs all around us in the postseason, and you know, we have to play our best every game. I mean, we just have to continue on and take it one game at a time.
All right, and the Tigers will take on Stony Brook this Friday. You can watch the game live on ESPN2. It's an early start time at 11 a.m. Three other teams from the SEC are going to the Super Regionals. Florida, the Gators are hosting NC State in Gainesville. Arkansas is going to Waco to play Baylor. And the Gamecocks of South Carolina will be hosting Oklahoma. And tonight, the Alexandria Aces will try to end their two-game losing skid by taking on the Acadiana Cane Cutters right here at Bringhurst. We'll have highlights coming up tonight at 10, and that first pitch is at 7 o'clock, everyone. Well, with the number 1 and number 10 picks in the upcoming NBA draft, a lot of excitement is to be heard around the Hornets headquarters. We can all assume that Anthony Davis of Kentucky will be number 1, but who will go at number 10? Well, here's a possibility. Austin Rivers of Duke University. Rivers had a recent workout with the Hornets as they explore a number of options to choose from at number 10. He averaged over 15 points a game this past season at Duke. And Rivers knows he has a big opportunity in front of him and feels that he just has to go out there and play like a man.
You know, I'm going here, you know, and just being real and just act like a man, act like the right way, and go in there and play like a man. This is a man's league. When you make the decision, come to the pro, you got to be prepared to play against men. So when I'm out there, I try to perform like that. I think I honestly, I'm going away from this workout honestly feeling really good. I had a really good workout. And I'm excited to see what happens. Obviously, we know who's going number 1. So, you know, they have a power forward there, so they might go with the guard at the number 10th pick. And, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm confident, though.
And speaking of Rivers, his dad, Doc Rivers, coaches the Celtics. They'll take on the Miami Heat tonight at 7:30. That series is tied at 2 apiece.
Oh, it's going to be a good game.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good game.
All right. Game 5. Thank you, Mo Carter.
Okay.
Well, the governor continues his efforts to honor some of the rising stars in the art world here in the state.
And after the break, we'll introduce you to the young lady from Cenlaw behind the painting now hanging in the Capitol.
A Cenlaw second grader will have her artwork featured in the governor's mansion this month.
Louisiana's First Lady, Supriya Jindal, announced that this painting by Emily Rhymes of J.I. Barron Elementary will be featured in the governor's mansion along with 11 other students' artwork. Emily was one of the winners of the Louisiana Art Education Association's 2011 Youth Art Month flag design. That is a name of itself.
It is tough.
The First Lady says these young artists truly bring the state to life. Good for you.
Colorful artwork.
Very pretty, and she said brilliance, brilliant colors, as they say.
Yes.
Yes, like your tie tonight, which I really love.
Oh, well, thank you, Harry.
See you at 10.
Good night.